All right, this is a 1949 Farmall Cub, and I just mounted the front snow blade on it. Supposed to get a snowstorm this weekend. They say 4 to 7 inches. We'll probably get an inch, but whatever. I figure I got the plow. It's sitting right next to the tractor. Why not get it mounted and have it ready, you know? So normally what I do, I just kind of tilt the plow. I have it unhooked, and I flip it like this, so it's pointing up and down, and the blade's resting on this dolly cart here, so I can move it around because it's pretty heavy. So I just kind of rolled the tractor out of its spot back there, rolled the plow up here, and this whole piece here, this plow, so this part and all that part there and this part here, all that's one piece that I keep together. I use like a bungee cord to kind of sandwich that part and that part together like that, so I can move it around. And then there's another piece here that's like a like an arm. That piece here connects to here and goes up to here. That's one piece I keep together. And then there's this big guy here that bolts the tractor. This piece that goes, it flares out there, and it has like a connector down there, and then it has these arms. That's all one piece. So it's kind of like, what is that? 1, 2, 3 pieces, I guess, right? And then I got like, I keep my bolts and nuts all together in little bags and junk. But basically you just kind of roll the tractor out, tilt this thing down on the ground. And what I did first was mount this guy. So you got a couple bolts here, mount that. And then you can, there's a couple blocks in here, square blocks that fit inside that holes, those square holes in the bolster there. And then you can, I just kind of temporarily throw the bolt in there, and on that side hold it up, and you can tighten it down with these guys. They screw up into there and push against it so the blocks don't move. And then I get the arm, this guy, get my nut and bolt and washers and stuff mounted here on the arm, on the little hydraulic arm here. Hook this guy up, and he slides in between these two pieces here, kind of like a fork. And there's like a little spacer there to kind of keep it from crushing and stuff. And I take this bolt out, slide it back through, and then you kind of got, this piece is free hanging out here, and that piece down there. And then you take this big old plow, tilt it, boom, and then roll the tractor forward this way. And then down here, this is where these guys meet. So there's a couple studs on the plow. On this part here, these guys are studs right there. And then you just put your washer on there and then your nuts, tighten them down. That sandwiches in there, so that's where it kind of mounts on the bottom. And then it kind of secures to the tractor here, and then your movement is secured here. And it's also supported there as a pivot point. And you kind of got this little spring here to kind of help if you hit something, it kind of boing, take some shock out of it. That's all there is to it. And then I just put this dolly cart underneath it so I can lower the hydraulics down so there's no, tension on it while it's off. And then I can roll it around because I usually roll the tractor back there. I need to kind of roll it out to start it, otherwise I hit my head there on the lean-to roof or ceiling. Yeah, it's got a couple things here, like you can take this out and rotate the plow, like, this way or that way, however you want it, but I got it straight right now. And then I think you got some adjustments here, up right here, so you can adjust it here, over there as well. Got some different holes. And then you can move the shoes here, not my shoes, these shoes here, you can move these up and down, if you want to have it lower or higher from the ground. They're set pretty good right now. I haven't touched them. They kind of ride on the ground and keep the blade off the ground, but they're real close, so there's not much snow underneath there when you plow. But I don't think I used it to plow last year, but the year before I did, and it worked really well. So anyway, there's not much to it. It took me like a half hour once I got everything all set up. Got my tools ready and stuff, And then the only thing you gotta watch is like when you mount this arm here, you gotta have the hydraulics up high enough to where this will be high enough where it can slide in here. Otherwise, if this piece is too low, you can't do it. So you gotta fire the tractor up and raise the hydraulics a little bit, but not a big deal. That's all there is to it. So then once I'm done, I tested it, made sure everything went up and down, it held, it didn't bounce or anything, and it worked fine. So then I just went around, snugged down all the nuts and bolts, made sure everything was tight. And that's it. It's ready to roll. So yeah, I got to put some fuel in it. The oil's good. I checked the hydraulic fluid and touch control unit. It was a little low, so I filled that up, topped it off. I had a little leak last year or two ago when we rebuilt it. but it seems like it's fine. It's leaking from the, there's like a boot in the back here. See, like way in there, there's like a piston boot that covers that piston and moves the arm. And there's a nut there, or a bolt that goes in there. Well, I think either that washer didn't seal good, or maybe I need to put some Teflon tape or something in there, because it was just leaking a little bit out of there. And then it's seeping out of this stupid little plug there, so I might have to seal that up one day, but not right now. Yeah, everything works good. It's kind of weird how you top this off. So you take this plug out. It's a 5/8 square plug there. You pop that guy out, and then you need like a flexible funnel to get in there, because you can see it's like, well, how the heck do you get in there, right? So you just kind of get a flexible funnel and kind of go in that way, and bloop, 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 put your Hy-Tran or hydraulic fluid in there. And then once it starts coming out, once it's level with the bottom there, starts kind of leaking out, seeping out, then you're done. Put the plug back in, that's it. So mine didn't take a whole lot, but I did add some. And when you do it, you want to make sure that your piston here is all the way retracted, all the way like inside this way, right? So you want to move your touch control arm back that way, so that's all the way in. Because if you think about it, if you have it all the way out that way, that means there's all that space where you can put fluid in there. And then when it retracts, where's that fluid gonna go? You know, it's probably gonna leak and cause all sorts of problems. I mean, I didn't even move back all the way. So you want that piston retracted all the way first before you check your level and add anything. And then usually what I do is once I add some, I just cycle it back and forth 3, 4, 5 times, make sure everything's cool. And then really you could probably check it again, but I think it's fine. But yeah, so that's that. And that's about it, I guess. So anyway, see if we get some snow. We probably won't get any snow. So then I've done this for nothing, but hey, whatever. At least I'm ready now, right? So that's all for now. See ya.